Hi everyone, Kim here with Abundant Life Tarot. I know I'm now for this live stream, but it is my 10-year wedding anniversary, and I want to spend some time with my husband, and so I thought I could just pop on here, do our kickoff for the Everyday Enchantment Tarot, our next tarot study. I don't expect a lot of years to change to the time, but you can catch the replay. I will also be heavily in the Facebook, and I created an ongoing lounge, a tarot lounge in one of the rooms. You know, they have rooms now where people pop in and out. I was in there a hot second, not too long ago, and I'm going to go in there and meet afterwards after this live. Just touch base to see if the group have any questions. So yeah, I'm a little early today, but yeah, there's a valid reason. Hi, Michelle, Shining Light Tarot. Thank you for joining me. I'm super happy you are here. Thank you. Hey, Pamela, how are you doing? It's echoing. That's not good. If it's still echoing, I'll go out. Let me go out and go back in. Let's try that. How's the sound now? How's the sound? Is it still echoing? I see the signal is kind of wonky. I might have to switch to a different internet browser. 1 second. Because I need you guys to hear me. The whole point of live. Let me see. Yeah. Let me try my other. I have 3 different internet boxes and things. Hold on, let me try switching. Hello. I don't know if the sound is better. Let me see. Can you hear me okay? It's the island life, man. Let's see. I see you all in the chat. Okay. It's better now? Is it better? I had to switch to another internet box. Like literally, the internet out here is struggle internet. So let me know if you can hear it okay. If you can't, if you'd be so kind to let me know. Otherwise, I may have to start the whole stream over. And maybe that's why I went on early, right? Everything happens for a reason. Also, I have my fan going. Like it's really hot. So that could be it. Could be it. Can you hear me okay? I'm having issues. Okay. So I don't want to get started and it's like a mess. It was working fine when I was in the room section on Facebook, so I don't know what ended up happening. That again, like I said, it's spotty internet. There's a lot of wind today. There's a storm, a potential cyclone that's in South America that's kicking up a lot of wind out here. So I don't know. So, anyways, this is probably another reason why I needed to go on now versus later, because I don't know what tomorrow may bring in terms of storm activity. Let me do this. I'm going to I'm going to okay. How is it now? Is it better? I shut down and restarted. If it continues like this, what I may have to do is I may have to record a video and do a premiere. And that's a bummer. I didn't want to have to do that. Is it still distorted? Is it still choppy? Can you hear me okay? Oh, it does? I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, on this important day of the launch. Okay. Let me know because I can pre-record a video and we do a premiere. Not my most favorite thing to do, but I can do that. So hello, welcome. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another tarot study that we are doing. And this is a special one, okay? This is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot by Peeps. And I love what she writes here, finding magic in the midst of life. So, just wanting to see, thank you. Hi, Andy. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for joining. I really appreciate each and every one of you for joining me today, dealing with my internet woes. It is a constant struggle. Some days are good, some days are bad, and you know, I just have to roll with the punches. So thank you for rolling with the punches with me. Hello, Key. How are you? Thank you. Yes, it is my 10-year wedding anniversary today, June 30th. Although we've known each other for many, many years, since 1992, when I was just 12 years old. So I'm going to try to be a very nice and loving wife today and spend some time with my hubby. So yes, thank you for that. Yeah, the internet is just like, mm. I'm trying to be nice and polite in my host country, but like I always say, coming from a place like in California, where it's just you take for granted how fast the internet speeds are there, and then come here, it's very much like a test of patience for me, and especially when mostly everything that I do is on the internet. My client readings, my working with you all, doing YouTube, everything I do is on the internet. So yeah, this has been quite a test of patience. Yay. Please be nosy. And yeah, it's okay if you don't have it. And also, that brings to mind, and we'll talk more about this in just a few moments, that when you're doing a tarot study with me in the group, you are not required to have the deck that we are featuring for that particular tarot study. You can use a deck of your choosing. One of our Facebook group members asked a great question yesterday. Well, what does that look like when you are using a different deck? Well, some examples would be, the journal prompts that are posted. They are universal. You can apply that to any tarot deck that you are using. You can, when we are posting daily on the different cards, and we will be going through all of the minors in the Facebook group, you are invited to use your deck of choice, take your pictures, write up what comes up for you for that particular card. Let's say we're talking about the Ace of Wands. You put your picture of the Ace of Wands, what symbols come up, compare and contrast. It makes the tarot study a lot more richer because we have different points of reference when other people are participating. Yes, it's nice to have a collaborative experience where we're working with the same deck, of course. However, it's also just as beautiful and more enriching when other people bring their own decks. It calls to mind what's super in deck unless you are really called to buy this deck. And it is an incredible deck, by the way. I got it when it was first released. Was it 2018? And I used this deck a lot when I was first starting my channel to do readings for the collective, and they were big, bold, bright images that were easy to see. Let me show you. Here's the full card, right? So very easy to see. Very, very easy to see. So I just loved it. It helped me to feel comfortable with reading for the collective. And I loved the images then. I loved the guidebook especially. I love Poppy as a person. Like, she was just an amazing, beautiful being of light, super supportive. She saw I was using her deck. She saw I unboxed it, and that I was, talking about it a lot in my early days on my channel. And she would give supporting comments. She even reached out to me via email. She's just amazing. And I get chills. I'll always be grateful for that, so it holds a special place, but it now even more so, all that has happened, not just with her, but all that has happened since 2018 when I got this deck to now, 2022. And I look back now as I've been preparing for this tarot study, and I've been looking at all the images and studying the guidebook again with new eyes. It just makes me really very much so love this deck even more. So, yeah. So I want all that to say is that you don't have to have the deck to participate. I have to always drive home that point because I think it gets lost when I'm doing a new tarot study. Thank you. I cannot believe it. 10 years we've been married, but we've been together since 2006, like as a couple. So it's been, and like I said, I've known him, we were friends before that, so I feel like I've known him a lifetime. And I guess I have, But I love that. I love that dude. Hey Leah, thank you. Yes, I'm inspired too. I'm really, really excited about this one. I'm always excited about the tarot studies that we do because it's like decks that it's like I really want to get into. It's always an exciting time for me to share these decks that we focus on together. I like to focus together on something, and but this is special. This is special. And so, with that being said, it's gonna feel a bit rigorous and fast paced to some because I am doing all the minors. Like there's going to be a post in the morning, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. A post in the morning for me, a post in the evening to cover all of the minors within a 6-week time period. Pace yourselves, folks. Remember, go at your own pace. Well, I'm going to be harping on that as well. I will also be once a week, provided, because we are actively in hurricane season. So provided that all is well out here, once a week, I will be doing a lunchtime majors discussion where we're going to talk about 3 to 4 majors over the course of a live stream within the Facebook group. Okay, it's going to happen within the Facebook group, Abundant Life Tarot group. And then what I'll do is I will make sure it's available for replay in the Facebook group and on the channel. And it'll be in the playlist, the Abundant Life, the ALT Tarot Study playlist on the channel. So you'll be able to not miss anything. Okay. Yeah, tech problems are frustrating. God, you bring up me and Meta business. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like always some element. First of all, there's always this major learning curve when they throw in a new system and you're like, okay, I want to learn it. I'm going to embrace it. And then you add that plus tech issues and you don't know if it's just user error or if it's really some sort of tech issue. It's just like, yeah, it's the story of my life, my friend. Oh, I know for, yes, pip decks were suggested. Oh, great question. So, decks to recommend. And in the audience, viewers, folks who are watching this replay, feel free to add to the comment section my suggestions or decks you would use in lieu of the Everyday Enchantment. Let me think. Definitely something that is fully illustrated with a lot of symbolism, okay? I'm trying to think, what do I have? I mean, I have a lot of decks. And you're right, I should have been prepared for this question. I'm looking at my shelf. I'm just gonna scoot over here and open the, I mean, I guess it could be, we've already done the light seers. Maybe what I'll do is I will put in the community tab, make a note of that, for recommendations. And like I said, I invite you all to put your recommendations in the chat or in the comment section of alternative decks, alternative deck recommendations. Because that's a good question. Honestly, I just think that it would just be something that you really want to dive into, and maybe a deck you haven't really been diving, like you just kept on the shelf, but one that has a lot of symbolism and probably fully illustrated. Like you said, with the Antique Anatomy Tarot, it was suggested that we use pip decks because that one's a pretty strong pipish deck. And in this case, this is going to be one like, I mean, look, here's the Magician, for example, right? Let's see that. I could like sit here all day and go through all the little bits and pieces of this card and pick out the different symbols that mean what it needs to mean for the Magician. Okay, that he's digging or unearthing. He is the magician. He is about to grow something. That is like the physical manifestation in action here with this magician. Like we've got, he's got the shovel, he's got different birds, he's got his blade here on his hip. With the traditional magician, for example, you have all the different elements. So we have the earth element, the blades, the wands, if you will, or so yeah. But I like that. Thank you for your question, because I'm like, yeah, I can come up with something. I'll put it in the Facebook group and on the community tab. So, and I'll see what people are saying to compile a real good list of deck suggestions. Studying a deck brings back that school-like atmosphere. Using different decks feels like we all have the same major but different focuses. Yes, for our final projects. That's right. I was just saying last night, as I was writing up my topics and discussions that I wanted to speak on with you all. And I was thinking, in this way, I am both the instructor and the student. We're always teachers and students in most things that we do in our life, but with a concentrated tarot study, it feels very much the element of learning and studying. And I've heard professors say, I'm learning as I'm teaching. And so that's how I like that. I love that analogy. Thank you, Scarlet Moon Creations. Thank you, my friend. I love that analogy. We all have different majors, but we have like maybe those core classes that bring us together to study together, to learn and grow together. So yeah. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back a bit since my internet was bothering the hell out of me. I want to make sure I do a proper introduction and a proper thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank my Ko-fi members. Thank you all so much for supporting me and allowing me to support you. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And it's nice to see a lot of my Ko-fi members here in the chat. Thank you. I also want to thank my Facebook group members. You all are what the tarot study is all about. You make this experience, okay? And there's some of you who consistently are a part of the study. Whether or not you have the deck, you are consistently a part of it. And that's my friend Okamama. Okamama, if I'm pronouncing that right. We know her as by her her legal name, but since we're on YouTube, I'm going to call her by her name here that you see on the screen. She is just amazing. When I put out a call to say, hey, can someone help me with this particular tarot study? Because I just want other people to be the ones putting forth some content. I don't want to just be the only one like drawing me on and on. And also it helps me to get it done. She volunteered, and I cut out for a moment. She volunteered, and not only volunteered, she just stood up and rocked it out. She's doing the journal prompts. She has a post for diving into the symbols. She is doing the deck theme. So you rock. You just rock. So thank you. So I have to do my thank yous before we even move on. We move on because that's appropriate. Also, thank you to my subscribers, my new and old subscribers here on the channel. You guys are amazing. Even today, someone left me I think it was yesterday, someone left me a beautiful comment about this tarot study. And I want to read it to you at some point. But it's the whole reason why I wanted to do this particular deck and use this deck for this study. So I'll share it in a moment. I'm afraid to stress out my internet. I'm afraid. Where's my phone? I might just go on my phone and get the comment. Let me do that. Because it's the why. I mean, it moved me to tears. Oh, you're not even gonna work for me. I talk to my internet. Come on. We're not on the same box already now. There we go. There we go. So one of my YouTube subscribers wrote, thank you for reposting. So what I did was I reposted the unboxing video that I did back when I first got this deck of 2018. I'm pretty sure it's 2018. I could probably peek and see when this deck was made. No, I think I tried to find it in there and I couldn't. Anyways, thank you for reposting. When my grandma transitioned, this card came to me. Speaking about the death card. It brings me to tears. Powerful deck with so many powerful messages in each card, and the guidebook is worth its weight in gold. Poppy really outdid herself with this one. The diversity, the messages, the card stock, the art, all so superb. And to make it even more special is that Poppy herself chimed in the comments. She did. How sweet is that? Excited for the Facebook group's upcoming deep dive in honor of this artist and writer. The deck deserves all of the attention and accolades it receives. And that is right. And that is why I wanted to do this deck study. So, yeah. I saw that comment this morning when I first woke up, and I was like, yeah. So thank you, subscribers. You guys are amazing as well. You all, every single one of you, however you come into my life and I touch your life, you all inspire me. Let me see. I'm trying to avoid buying a new deck until Christmas because I have a bunch coming in from pre-orders and Kickstarters, and I already can't hardly keep up. I'm determined to find something I already have. Do you have the Super Norris Tarot by chance? That one has some symbolism. I don't know. I'm just thinking about different decks as we go along. Because I understand, and I don't want to, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to buy the deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the aim here. Yeah, if y'all know, I offer that course, the Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection. It's all about mindful collecting, and it's all about intentional collecting and not necessarily feeling this call to buy decks. This year, I've gotten a handful of decks, but they're for specific purposes in my reading practice. And it just was really nice to go through Kickstarter and be like, I don't feel like I need to back anything. Or look at Etsy, because that was another one of my haunts where I would get decks. And just, it's like, those are beautiful decks. I'm just not called to purchase them. I hope, maybe one day they will be something I want to add to the collection, but I'm feeling very satiated with my collection. You know what I'm saying? Yes, shop. Thank you, Pamela. Shop your stash. Whatever you already have will do. Amen. That's the truth. Yeah, exactly. We want to know what you have. Hey, how are you doing? Another one of our lovely Facebook group members here. Welcome. I know. I went earlier because today's my wedding anniversary and I haven't even eaten yet, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna also, after this, pop into the Facebook group rooms. I set up a room lounge that's gonna be just running, and you guys can pop in and out. I'll be in there. I think what I'll do is I'll announce, like, hey, I'm just chilling in the lounge. I might just be in there. You just might see me, I don't know, writing notes from the book and chatting. And if I'm just sitting here, at my desk, why not just turn on the rooms and chat with you all? Like a lounge. That's why I call it the Tarot Study Lounge. And since this is going to be such an involved, I sense it's going to be one of those involved tarot studies, similar to what we were going through with the Hoodoo Tarot study. I thought, since Facebook has rooms in our group, this would be a great way to connect. So, yeah. Oh, you're here! Yay! You're the one. I have someone that you would read my comment. I'm also a Facebook member. I just love the platform. Thank you. I figured you were also a group member because you mentioned it in your comment. But I was like, I didn't say your name, your username for the comment, but yes, you're the one that left me that amazing comment that touched me, moved me to tears twice today. So thank you. Okay, so you have that one. So that could be one. The Superlunaris could be one to explore, go deeper with. I thought you might have that one. Yeah, we want to shop your stash. Yeah, don't deny us this. I like seeing what people have. That's also the reason why I don't always feel the need to buy new decks, because I get all excited when people are like, check out the new deck I got. I'm like, all right, let's do it. One of my COVID members, you know who you are, Andy, mentioned in our Facebook group, it would be nice to maybe do kind of like a deck show and tell, maybe a room for that, or maybe a live where we just kind of get together and the reason I like the rooms is that you can pop on in and out pretty easily. It's not so cumbersome like with StreamYard and Facebook and all of that, where you got to sign in and all this jazz. But where you show off the decks that you're loving and using and that came new to you, but you're just thrilled to share, like a show and tell. Again, another school element. Another, yeah. No worries. It's just FOMO most of the time, wanting to participate with everyone else, so the urge to buy the deck is big, but we can overcome it if we need to. That's right. And, FOMO is, I believe, a real thing. And it was what drove me probably to collect more decks than probably needed. I love my deck collection. But yeah, if I'm to be 100% honest, fear of missing out is a real thing. And so I wanted to come up with different ways to support my peeps by celebrating the decks that we have. First, it was the course, the Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection. It's free on my website. You can take it at your leisure. So there's that. And then the tarot study, where I didn't want you all to feel like you have to have a particular deck. It makes sense for me to have the deck that I'm going to use. So, since I'm leading the tarot studies, right? I mean, it's not, just makes sense. But you all are not under that obligation. So, yeah, it's all in support of my fellow readers, my fellow collectors, and I just want you all to not have to feel that pressure when you over at Abundant Life Tarot group or you're on the channel. I don't know. I don't want you to feel that pressure. Oh yes, Everyday Witch would be a good one. It's fully illustrated, strong symbolism if you have it. That would be another one. See, I need to be writing these down. Hold on. I'll be pausing to stop. Everyday Witch. I'm going to come up with other ones that I owned in the past or that I own now, and I'll put that on my list too. Let's see. There we are. That's modern. I have super lunar, so below modern love. Oh. Sexual magic. Does that count? Sure. Why not? Angel messages. Oh, the good karma. I have the good karma. I like that deck a lot. Oh, I have the Tarot of Haunted House. That would be a fun one to explore as well. And so again, what we're seeing here, and you also could use the standard, like someone had mentioned before, the standard RWS deck, because it's fully illustrated, right? And you got the angel messages. For animal, I have mystical cats, pagan cats, wild unknown. Okay. Yeah, modern love would be a good one as well, I would imagine. It's kind of feels good, it has a similar energy. I don't know. I don't have a modern love. It is one of those decks I'm like, one day. But I've seen the images and I would say that would be a comparable one. Yeah. FOMO is real. Yeah, a plant-based or animal-based, that's right. Or something based around the idea of green spirituality or green witchery, shamanism, etc. I agree. Oh. So if you see me just writing these down, that's because I want to make a list. And modern witch. And I agree with, you know, like the shamanistic decks and I'm looking. A lot of my tarot decks are in my actual closed bookcases. This might hurt. So I would have to actually open it up and look. Yeah, so we've done the light seers. Yeah, I really like the good karma tarot. A lot of people like sleep on it because they're like, oh, it's for beginners, but no, it's a great deck, at least for me with client readings, because it's got a beautiful soft color palette. It's modern. It's not overly involved with symbolism. Clients, if you read for clients or read for others, they can perhaps see themselves in the images. I just really like that deck. Yay! Hello, Array of Gratitude. First of all, that name just gives me all kinds of life. So I'm happy you are here. Thank you for joining me. I'm happy we are all together. Oh my gosh, with my little internet woes, my God. Yes, I don't have the next world either. Oh, yes. Yes. Fairy decks. Because she's got those little sprites, right? Let me show you. Well, let's look at the Ace of Blades. That one's at the top. See that? Looks very fairy-esque. I don't know if I can scoot. You see by the dog? See that? The little fairy, modern fairy energy that I appreciate. I like a modern deck with contemporary images and yeah, I like her little. So cute. Let's see. I showed you guys the Fool. Here's the Emperor. Such a great deck. The cardstock too. Better. Hierophant. Look at us learning and growing together, like with the Hierophant. They're all in order because I had to put them all in order to prepare for the tarot study. So, yeah, here's the Lovers. Islands of Love, plus this gorgeous dog. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let me see. Oops. Up your goals. Yes. How do we feel about those borders though? Okay. Well, To be perfectly honest, the deck itself, I'm one of those people who could be with or without borders on a deck, and but the size does matter. Size does matter with me on many different things. Sorry, it just does. I know, TMO. Size matters. So if it's too large of a deck for me to work with it on client readings, for example, when it can be quite a challenge for my wrist. But if I'm doing exploration with the deck or using it for something like, okay, I'm going to do readings on Instagram, or I'm going to do a reading for the collective on YouTube. This is great because it's not going to be too taxing on me, and it's got bright, colorful images. People have done some beautiful things with trimming the deck, cutting off the borders, edging it in a beautiful color. And I am terrified of doing that. I have a deck mod envy. Is that a thing? Is deck mod envy a thing? Because I have it. Because I'm scared. Yeah, aren't they virtual hug? And now more than ever, like she just, I don't know. It's such a sunshiny deck for me. Like, look at this. Here's the strength. See that? She loves animals, right? There's always like an animal in the pic. Like, again, glorious dog here. And here's the hermit. I liked her hermit. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, those are good options, I think. I think those are good options. But the deck was too big for me and the borders were too big. Yeah. I like the color. I do. Thank you for mentioning the color coding. Okay, so the color coding is a thing that I did appreciate. So that's why I'm like, I'm not mad so much about the borders. I'm just like, red feather, shipper. But then again, okay, so the argument could be made that the artwork is so beautiful and it's so intricate that you almost need a larger canvas, if you will, a larger space to see all there is. So it almost has to be a bigger card. But on the other hand, and this is not her fault, Poppy, but red feather, I'm like, these are really, really large, and I want desperately to work with this deck without having to modify it. So I like the color coding. So for example, the blades, this purple color, the coins is green with borders. Okay, the wands is like this burgundy kind of color. And then the cups, there's like a beautiful blue. Here's the cups. See, for example. Okay. Yeah, she, I think I saw that on a couple of occasions, both in her videos and then when people would do reviews of her deck, and people would, of course, lament on the border size or how large the cards are. She was like, I didn't make that decision. At the end of the day, that's the publisher's decision. And so I understood that. And, I get it. That wasn't up to her. So, yeah. So, I love the Emperor card in this deck. It may be my all-time favorite Emperor. He was welcoming, yet makes it clear what he stands for exactly. Like, a lot of times, they can kind of make the Emperor kind of scary. Like, I wasn't always a fan of the Emperor card in general. Like, some people are not always a fan of the Hierophant. But this Emperor, I can get behind. I really can. Look at him. He looks so inviting, fatherly, because that's one of the meanings to the emperor is not just like, oh, this total authoritarian. It's someone who is a father, who does command and demand respect. You know, you see him sitting in this gorgeous, what do you call those chairs? Wingback chairs, leather. You know, I love this look, actually. So yeah, he's got it going on. There's quite a bit of symbolism. And he's a father. There's even a little portrait of his family back there. You see that? See that? I am a fan, huge fan of the Emperor in this deck. I can definitely see why not to have the titles on the artwork. Yes, indeed. I'm scared too. I've ever cut one at just edge. Me too. I'm not. You and me both are in the same boat. I've edged decks. Completely good with that. That's about the level of my comfort with modifying decks. I'm too scared. Like, and I know, like, it's, you know, a mass market deck. You could buy a new one, but I live on an island now, and it just takes a little while to get decks. So I'm always like, oh, do I modify it? Do I not? And if I'm not an expert, what if I mess it up and now I'm gonna be without that deck and I'm gonna be mad and sad? I don't know. Okay, good. So, so deck mod envy is a thing. Okay, good, because I have it. So it replaced FOMO for me. Size matters. In this case, I trim mine down to a smaller border. Oh, see, that's a compromise. You get to keep the border, so you can see the purple for the blades, and then edged in the various colors according to their suit. Ooh, now that would be a beautiful modification. A modified modification. Like it. Thank you. I always forget to say that. Thank you all. If you know, I have been on YouTube a while, and you would think I'd be well versed in saying, hey, please like the video, please share, please support. I would love to make sure people get to see this content, get to be a part of it. The tarot studies are for seasoned readers and new readers alike, like whether you are new to reading the cards or you're seasoned. And I know with algorithms, I know that how they find me and find the channel is when you all like and comment and share. So thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Forget. Forget. Not a fan of the borders, but the back. Oh, thank you about mentioning the back. Look at this. So then I was afraid because this was the one deck that I seriously considered modifying. Seriously considered. But then I was like, what about the backs? Now, I've seen people modify them. I've seen them, and it turned out perfectly fine. You know, it only cut off so much here, but it's just so beautiful. Like every detail. So I was looking, I think it was last week, I was going through this deck and I had the box open like this and on my reading table. And my husband, he sits over there. You can't see the chair, but there's a chair or a little armchair over there. He'll come in here and sit and talk to me. And he saw the box open. And now he saw me going through the cards. And he was like, that is a fancy box. And he was like, wow, those are beautiful cards. He doesn't always comment on the cards or any things I got on my table. Every now and then I might have something magical that he'll comment on. But he was so struck by the just gorgeous packaging of the deck. And then I had also talked to him about Poppy's passing. And he kind of put two and two together, and he was like, she created this? She was the one that created this? And I was like, and so we just had this moment like, oh my gosh, this lady was a genius at her art. And to the defense of Red Feather, I mean, he did do justice by the way they did the card stock with this deck. The box is gorgeous, right? The guidebook, so beautiful. Her writing, amazing. I'm getting chills again. Throughout this whole preparation, I've just been getting chills over chills over chills. Every time I talk about her, every time I think about her creative genius, like it's just amazing. So to their credit, Red Feather was probably really trying to do it justice, to make it feel like an indie glorious deck. I mean, it's I've had some indie decks that are like don't hold up the test of time. They just like you spend all this money and they're already chipped and like just bad. Whereas this deck, for me, had held up. I don't know. So yeah, those are my thoughts about about that. I'm over here modifying the deck as we speak. I have this thing where I'll be like, well, I'll pay you to modify. Like I'll, pay you as well as send a brand new deck to your house and you just modify it for me. I'm too scared. Okay, got a little stack. Super Linares, Good Karma, Modern Love, oh, Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. I love any, oh my God, I haven't did an Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo in a minute. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Catch a tiger by his tail. I don't know if I should give away the symbolism, but each card has plant kin and animal kin. Oh. Yeah, I mean, you're not doing a spoiler with saying that. You're not doing a spoiler alert. And I would imagine people are going to do the homework to look for those things in the cards as we deep dive into them. We got a lot going on. I'm relating and getting all excited with you, but I haven't forgotten my purpose to make sure I hit on the important points about the tarot study. So I'll make sure I do that in just a moment. Just going through your glorious comments. Yeah, it is the most interesting, quite the loveliest cardstock. And you know what's funny is that Red Feather Shipper, I have other of their decks. And before and after this deck was released. And nothing really compares to this like soft, buttery feel. Like I might have a couple, I don't know. I have to look at my collection. But this feels so good in the hand. So that's where my deck mod envy comes in because I know if it's the right size and the folks who have trimmed it and edged it, and then it's this beautiful stock. Yeah, I bet it's amazing to work with. I bet it is. I just know it is. Happy Emperor. Yes, he is. With those little crinkly eye, the crinkles, the crow's feet eyes, and ready smile. He's got his arms outreached. Now, of course, there's the reverse Emperor energy. That could be quite the opposite. But even still, he looks happy. Yeah, I like him. Let's see. Currently, feelings of Deva on me, man. Hello. How are you? I've cut one astrology deck down. They were huge and my hands were not small. Plus the borders added nothing to the card. I'm much happier now. And so that's the thing. Like if the borders aren't really adding anything, and we've seen where decks look amazing after the borders are cut. And if it's not adding anything, it's actually detracting from the whole experience of working with that deck, then by all means, cut it. Especially if you know it's going to be a really great deck. Let me see. Yeah, I feel that way too. I think that it's one of the reasons why I am more drawn to modern contemporary decks, and this might be one of the reasons. When I started really actively collecting decks was in 2017, but definitely I was hitting the ground running with collecting decks in 2018 and 2019. And this was one of those decks that kind of it made it fun to read the tarot. It made it relatable. It made it just, I don't know. I just appreciated it. It does break a mold. Yeah. Yeah. I would say a younger version. Maybe his brother. Maybe it's Nelson Mandela's younger brother. He does favor, don't he? Oh, let me tell you, this guidebook, look at this. It is glorious. Not only was she an excellent artist, her writing also was just divine. Like, so she breaks down, here's the majors in like short form here on these pages. And so, for example, you have the Fool, you have the keywords that were just on that previous page I mentioned, and correspondences. So Uranus, Ether, and Neuter. The Fool, jumping for joy. A lot of times we as collectors and as readers crave for a deck creator or artist to why did they choose what they chose to depict in a card image. And so she did that. We've got the image. Look at all that text. You can see that. The story. She wrote a story. And then the card's meaning. All this is for one card. It's amazing. I'm going to look and see about the minors. She did the same with the minors. So that's why I'm like, if you are new to Tarot, this is a great deck to dive into, especially if you're turned off by Rider-Waite-Smith or Thoth or any of those old school, or Peeps or Marseille or any of that. This would be one to get started in for sure. You can be a newbie and work with this deck because the guidebook. And that's another thing that brings me back to mentioning the Tarot study, is that when I choose decks to dive into, I want a great guidebook to go with it. That's one of my prerequisites for why I would choose a deck for a Tarot study to put up for vote. I just looked it up and it has the price shot up, or it's just me. So because our lovely Poppy has transitioned, right after that, the decks in many places have sold out. This is a mass market deck. And with the way things are with the pandemic, we're recovering, of course, but the production of making these decks, even mass market, is kind of slowly coming back up to pre-pandemic levels. And so there's more demand than there is supply. I'd imagine those prices will come down at some point, as they always do, but that is what happens, especially when something like that happens, you know. So, yeah, exactly. And to that end, I also want to kind of segue for a hot minute about, some people probably felt a way that I wanted to do this as a part of our Tarot study, because they were like, no, you shouldn't do that or this or that. But I, just like I had mentioned earlier, I just felt this calling to do this, and it just felt right. And I don't have any regrets, and I don't think any of those who are going to participate in this next study will have regrets either. We are not over here trying to, I don't know what the word is, exploit. We don't do exploitation, okay? We want to honor and celebrate her because she is a part of our community, very much so. And she matters. Her work matters. And my only regret is that I didn't have her deck be a part of the Tarot study a long time ago. This would be like our fifth deck that we're doing, our fifth deck that we're embarking into the Tarot study. So I don't aim to offend people, but I still, when I feel a calling to do something, I feel a calling to do something. Some people don't understand it. Like, they don't understand that I'm called to do disappearance readings. They don't understand that. Well, it's not for you. And maybe this Tarot study isn't for you, and that's okay. Okay, but this is really something I just felt like I just needed to do. Yeah. You said that's shameful. Yeah. And we see that with artwork, we see that with, I'm trying to think what else. There's so many different things when someone passes, it, it inevitably happens. Particularly if someone passes away where it's before we feel, it feels untimely. So it just adds this element of there's now more value. But it literally is probably the demand for her deck and the lack of supply is also a driving force. Yeah. I do have to say that this particular mod was one of the hardest ones I've done because two of the suits were printed offset from the other, but I figured that out before I even cut, so it was all good. You're not the first person who mentioned that. I was serious about modifying it. Like I was looking at different YouTubers who modified this deck. I was in different Facebook groups and I would like search like who modified the Everyday Enchantment. Like I would type Everyday Enchantment in the search and I would see, inevitably I'm going to find someone who modified it. So you're not the only one who mentioned that. And that made me even more like, I am scared. I'm not going to do it. If I was still in the States, I would just ask one of my ballsy friends to do it for me. Yes, I love velvety cardstock. And it shovels actually, even though it's large, and even though you might not be able to riffle shuffle the entire thing at once, you can riffle shuffle it and it shuffles beautifully. And overhand, I'm a little more gentle on my wrist because it is a larger deck. It is a larger deck. So my hands have to fully extend to be able to do that, right? But it can do it. It can do it. It's not impossible. So I'm now a little bit more accepting of certain decks that don't necessarily fit my criteria for a deck of desire. Yes, she was a talented singer, a tattooist, as well as a writer. So talented, like incredibly talented. Yeah. And I love me some Nelson Mandela. I do. I put this in the Facebook group, but it might be fun to make a Spotify list everyone could add to. A couple of songs popped out at me when I looked at the cards. Yes. Were you the one that mentioned about the songs for this particular tarot study? And so I did add that for our daily look at the cards to think of songs because I think that would be fun. So yeah. Hello, Charlene Hill. What a beautiful name. Peace and blessings to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I'm just enjoying myself with y'all today. Thank you. Thank you for showing some love because let me tell you, the way things are going right now in the world, a little bit of love goes a long way. I'm a sucker for a killer guidebook. Yeah, you and me both. I have bought decks for their guidebooks, but I also like to read them. Like I will read guidebooks and I'll go back to them over and over again and treat them more like a reference book. I'll keep them on my shelf, my bookshelf, and pull them off, my favorite ones, and read through them over and over again. I'll be like, I remember that Everyday Enchantment had a great meaning for the lovers. Let me go back and consult that. I just do it that way. I'm such an Aquarius in that way. Hi, Tony. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? Ooh, tea sounds amazing. Cold tea or hot tea? I want hot tea, but I'm hot right now. But I do drink hot tea even in the warmth, but now it's just a little too hot. I have to wait till the evening time. Yeah, thank you for saying that. I think it's a perfect time. She asked us, that's right. And that's why there was this element of guilt I felt when everything was going down with her, her transition. I was like, could I have celebrated her more? Could I have done more? Could I have chosen her deck? Wouldn't it be cool? Because she was the type to be a part of. If she was physically well enough, that's the other part. If she was physically well enough, she would be a part of it. If I would be like, hey, can you join me for a live so we could talk and pick your brain about the cards? Or she would, I think she would totally be a part of it. And that's, it makes me so appreciative of her, but it makes me sad at the same time. Yeah, the guidebook is amazing. I'm a sucker for keywords, correspondences, the story, the image description. I love it. The more you give me, the better. Especially the way it's organized. Sometimes, like, I get a little frustrated with certain guidebooks where they just kind of lump it all together, and you're kind of like, oh, this is not a quick reference to go to, but hers is. Hers is. I used to compare the Lysier study. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I think of those two like in a similar kind of vein. I do. A Spotify playlist would be so cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Now, one of you guys set that up for me? Every day I'm learning something new. And surprisingly, I don't have my son, he has a Spotify. I don't know. I want that though. I think that'd be fun. I love music. I cut all the first cuts freehand. Oh, you did freehand? The other sides were matched up for size. I would. I want one of the little is the guillotine? Is that the better thing, or is it like the just cutting it by hand with scissors? Hi, my friend. How are you doing? How are you doing? Welcome, Queen Said. I'm so happy you are here. Good afternoon. We are having a great time. Yes, we are. Yeah. It feels similar to me. I have this deck and it's gorgeous. Kind of big. Yes, it is kind of big. And if you find a purpose to use it, then you won't probably be so bothered by it, the size. But you just received 4 copies in the shop. God, isn't it superb? We were just gushing about this guidebook here. Like, let me see. So on the back, here's the back. And this is what folks wrote about Poppy's work. So Ray Beth, author of the best-selling Hedge Witch series, says, Poppy's work is unpretentious, friendly, and down to earth. It's also poetic. It is imaginative and fresh, yet grounded in traditional techniques. Her work is a pilgrimage that can teach us how to live magically, heart and soul. God, isn't that beautiful? Jill Smith, artist, performer, and author of the Callanish Dance and Mother of the Isles. Poppy's writing evokes the realities we have experienced, but not ourselves been able to put into words. So we experienced it, but maybe we haven't been able to put it into words and to art form. But she was able to do that with this guidebook and her gorgeous, gorgeous artwork, right? And Jenny Austin, teacher and author of Practicing Reiki, wrote, I love decks that you can read from the pictures rather than the set standard meanings. You have so many keys in each card, yet they are not overwhelming. Wow. And I agree with every one of these ladies here. These people who wrote these bits on the back of the guidebook. I agree. Every single point. Every single point. Both a hot cup of tea and an apple tea as in the late dinner. Oh, it's 7 p.m. there. Okay, so yeah, this is the perfect time for a spot of tea. Okay, so you always cut yours by hand. I think that would give me I don't know, would that give me more of a sense of control? Sharp, sharp scissors. The mini guillotine lever version for sure. Eyeballing the cards and then set square for all other cuts. Yes, so you can keep them all the same. I have to, let's see, this deck one was fidgeted to me after I already had one. Okay, so, oh, so you have one that was trimmed, or you were gifted one that was trimmed. See, that's what I was hoping for. The Sun card is stunning, isn't it? You like the paper cutter better. Okay, the guillotine is cool because it comes with measurements on it and it's self-sharpening. That's good to know. I didn't know about the self-sharpening. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's a beautiful and generous offer. That is a beautiful and generous offer. I feel like I'm long overdue for a giveaway. I just hope I can get my hands on it because I don't know what to do. I don't know if I haven't checked lately to see if they're sold out or if they're back in stock or whatnot. See, that's me. I'm nervous about me, like, and I'll be so sad if I just like accidentally cut like this way, and I'm like, ah. You can create it. Yay! Okay, see there lies what I was saying. Like, how am I gonna share this? Y'all see me struggling with the technology. I do well in some areas, in some areas it's a challenge. So thank you, and thank your daughter for helping. Yeah, and you know, there is an argument for that, Tony. There is an argument. So, all right, so let me go through quickly just some highlights about the tarot study, this particular tarot study. This is our 5th one. Super excited. I usually try to host like at least 3 tarot studies per year. This will probably be the last official major one that I do in the Facebook group, but we will be having probably mini studies because, for example, one of my Facebook group members had suggested, oh, can we do like Dust to Onyx? And I have that deck and I do want to get to know it more. And we might be doing mini tarot studies in the group throughout the rest of the year. But my aim is to have at least 1 to 2 major studies per year now. That is my aim. And it's always been my aim to have a lot of participation and not just me droning on and on. I want people to participate. So that's why I was super thankful for Oklahoma for your help in putting this on. There's one other volunteer that is going to be putting on, like, I'm assuming a video about pairings for this deck. So I'm excited about that. Normally, I would have decks to share with you, like oracle decks, but lately I've just been pairing my favorite decks that I make for myself, my own private use decks. So maybe I'll do a video response to our member who makes the pairings video of decks that I have in my collection. Oracle decks, I'm thinking of. Oracle decks, or maybe another tarot deck that goes beautifully, pairs nicely, because I'm totally into combos, tarot and oracle, or tarot and tarot combos. I love those. I love to have my decks talk to one another in readings. So that'll be happening. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Yeah, I love the oracle studies in the group. So let's talk about that. So we also, in our Facebook group, we do mini oracle studies, or just oracle studies. Something there. I say mini to like make it where y'all don't get it's a whole family walking by. I say mini to not overwhelm you because I want you all to feel like you can lead a tarot or oracle study in the group. And not feel overwhelmed. And if you need support, let me know because I would love to help you. And that's another reason why I decided to limit it now to 1 to 2 per year, major studies that I host, so that way I can be more of a support to those who want to put on mini studies. The oracle studies have been gorgeous, like just phenomenal. And I'm so grateful. That's what I was hoping for. I wanted to be an environment where I'm not the only one leading them. And to that end, I also want to be able to participate. I haven't really been able to participate in the Oracle studies for a variety of reasons. But now, if I scale back the major one that I'm hosting, that'll give me the opportunity to participate. Because this tarot study, I want to dive in. I usually dive in and put when I like the hoodoo or the light seers or the antique and I love all of them. The herb crafters was different. It was a different study, but nevertheless it was a study. I like to dive in with you all. I want to be a part of it. I want to learn and grow in tarot too. So yeah, I want to be able to participate and gain all that I can as well. So it's this dance I have to do. And so that's why I'm super grateful for those who are hosting Oracle and Tarot studies in the group. I actually found another Facebook group that does, I don't know if they do Tarot and Oracle, but I know there's a whole nother study group that I didn't realize until like maybe a couple of weeks ago I stumbled on it. I said, oh my gosh, they're doing it. I didn't join their group because I'm very much happy with our group that we've got going on. But I was like, oh, I wonder what they're doing over there. I didn't know. I guess I need to get out of my box. Yeah, they're amazing. You guys should check them out. As long as you're like, I know some people are like anti-Facebook, and I understand it. It's understandably so. But it is the easiest I found to do tarot studies. Okay, it's just easier than what I had tried to do before. There were some instances where I was like, okay, I'm going to do it across all social media platforms. It just did not work. Doing it in the Facebook group and having most of the action happening in the Facebook group is the easiest, it just is. So I hope you join us. I hope you join it. I love the community we have there. I love the community we have here. Look at this. You guys are amazing. You're amazing to me, to each other. And it's the same vibe in the Facebook group. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I know. You're one of you're one of our hostesses with the mostesses for an Oracle study, and it was amazing. But thank you for saying it. It is a lot of work, huh? It is a lot of work, and that's why I don't want people to do it on their own. I wanted to be more support to you all because it is. It's almost like putting on virtual tarot conferences or Oracle conferences. If you've ever attended, like I would go to the symposium, the Northwest Tarot Symposium, or you go to a writers conference. I envision it being something kind of like that. And every single time I go, and I like to talk to the people who put on those events and just have a little conversation, show them my support and gratitude for them doing it. And time again, they're like, this is a lot of work. I don't know if this might be my last one, but I love it so much, but it's a lot. It is a lot. So thank you for doing it. I use the flower spread shared for a tarot reading because I don't own the current deck. Yes. Yes. I saw others were doing that as well, and that was beautiful to see. It was like an aha moment. I like mixing tarot with Lenormand or Kipper also. Yes, I do too. I'll mix my Victorian Gothic Lenormand with my Bohemian Gothic Tarot, or my White Rabbit Lenormand with my Victorian Romantic Tarot. I like those combos. I'll mix, and it's not a Lenormand or a Kipper, but my Mildred Payne kind of feels like, sort of like those kind of decks. I like to mix those as well, the Mildred Payne with other decks. So, yeah. I love the Hoodoo Tarot, especially the Guide of Me Too. Such a glorious deck. Again, that was another one that was near and dear to me. It was that tarot study, I think, was like, we had a lot going on, didn't we? Each of us individually. And before I did that tarot study, I had sold all my things and moved out of the country, and I was trying to set up shop here in the midst of putting on a tarot study. And it was the Hoodoo Tarot. So that one is near and dear because I was going through major life changes and I could tell other people were too. And what we reveal in those, that's another reason why I like doing it in a more confined space like the Facebook group. Sometimes a lot is coming up and bubbling up for us, and we're sharing and doing a lot of like introspection, and other people are seeing the introspection and it's honest and raw, and so it can go deep. It can go deep. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. Oh, a German Lenormand. That's interesting. Oh my goodness. Is the, well, I'm assuming it's all like German, but I wonder what the images look like. Is it like classic? What does it look like? Oh, see what I'm saying? Like, if people want to do a Lenormand or a Kipper study, I'm here for it. I would love that. I am not well versed in Lenormand or Kipper. I'm not at all in Kipper, but I'm totally curious about Kipper. In fact, I would love that so much if we either did a joint collaborative study together or somebody leads and I can be able to participate. I love Lenormand. I have about 7 Lenormand decks, but my home skillet, my home study is Tarot and Oracle. That's what I'm well versed in. But I'm always thirsting to learn more about cartomancy. So yeah, I'm here for that. It's totally allowed. Okay. Another thing I want to share about the group is I don't want you all to be shy. If you are a content creator and you create videos, I'm a content creator too. I know some Facebook groups, they're very strict about you cannot share, videos and that of that nature. I'm not. I want to be supportive, and if it's on topic, share. It's okay. I just wanted to say that because I feel like I need to say that. Oh, you're a professional event planner. I never thought about the deck studies like that. Even a single day, one room event is a lot, right? Yes. My sister also. She is a professional event planner, she's a corporate event planner. And yeah, y'all are probably amazing at what you do, but I could tell it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So conferences take it to the next level. It does. And when you see it go off without a hitch, you're like, oh my gosh. It's not like just planning a little party, like I could plan a little party, but when you're talking about little workshops going on simultaneously and having to organize all that and all those people, God, my hat goes off to you. I'm always exhausted but happy. Yep, my sister's the same. Same thing I feel, not to y'all's level, but after I'm done with the tarot study. I'm like, I feel good. I feel great. Tired, but feel great. Aloha, Jonathan. How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. How's it going? How is your tarot study coming along? I'm so happy you all are here. I'm gonna keep your lovely face in front of my screen. All right, so I always digress, y'all. Let me make sure I hit on all the points. I talked about that. Thank you all so much. Thank you for liking the video. See, I remember. Thank you for liking the video. We want this particular one to get out into the algorithm so people can learn some tarot, especially our new folks, right? They're always asking, how can I learn tarot? Well, you can learn it amongst community members. Like Jonathan is having an amazing tarot study. I host them. There's a ton. And if you want to get to know tarot, this is a great way to do it. Okay. So, and if you are like me, who just, I work with this system every day, but I like the camaraderie of working with it with others. And y'all are you're not just my virtual community, you are my community. I don't really go out and about. To be honest, I only really like hanging out with y'all. Like, it's a source of contention for my real life friends and family because they think that sometimes I think they think there's something wrong that I like it like this. But this is how I like it. So I like the camaraderie. I have to do a reminder. If you want to stay abreast of what's going on, I do have a newsletter now. Finally, sign up for that. I always do major updates, such as like a tarot study with that. Or if you're like, I don't want to do a newsletter, you can sign up for my blog, livestream.com. You can subscribe to the channel. That also is how you can stay abreast of things. I always regularly update my community tab, as well as I try to keep y'all in the loop. You can join the Facebook group, because that's where the work is happening for this tarot study, okay? I will be doing, I mentioned earlier at the start of this video, is that I will be doing the majors. This is going to harken back to when I did the Hercrafters Tarot study, and I think the Hoodoo Tarot study, I did it like this. I changed it up a little for the antique and the light series, where I did concentrated videos on concentrated topics. But we're going to go back to discussing all of the majors together. This is a little different, where I'm going to be doing live streams in the Facebook group, leaving them available for replay for those who cannot make it during the time. And then I will be publishing them, as long as it's nothing too, like private happening in the live streams in the Facebook group. I will be publishing them to the YouTube channel and including them under the Abundant Life Tarot study playlist. Okay, I have a playlist where all the content that I've created for tarot studies is located there. So just letting you know ways that you can stay abreast of it. The hashtags are very, very important in the Facebook group. I mean, they're important probably Instagram as well. But the hashtag for this tarot study is Everyday Enchantment Tarot Study. I know it's a mouthful. Once you do the little hashtag and you start writing it EVER, it's gonna pre-fill and you'll see all the whole thing pop up. It's helpful because it compiles all the posts that we do for this tarot study together into a topic in the Facebook group. Okay, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. We'll do a show and tell. So that is the hashtag. It just helps because this tarot study, and Jonathan always reminds me to say this, it is evergreen. Anytime we do a tarot study or an oracle study in the Facebook group, on here on the channel, evergreen. That means you can start it later. We have someone who started the Light Seers Tarot study, one of our dear members, a couple of weeks ago. And so what they do in their posts to identify that this is a tarot study related item for this tarot study, which is the Light Seers, is what they joined. Now we have it all contained, and they can go to the topic, Light Seers Tarot study, for example, and they can see the hundreds of posts that we have. The Hoodoo Tarot have the most posts. I think we have almost like 500 posts related to just that tarot study. It's a lot of posts. But we have a lot for the others, but that's one of our biggest ones we did. So people can join a year from now, 2 years from now, tomorrow, 5 days from now. You don't have to start it today like many of us are doing today. You don't. You can start it when you can. It's so important that I say that because I think people, needlessly put themselves under pressure. They see all the activity going on during an active tarot study and they get overwhelmed. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to keep up. It's designed for your pace, what you're comfortable doing. All I ask is that you do a 2-week commitment once you start to work with your deck, whatever your chosen deck. If it's the Everyday Enchantment, great. Or if it's your deck of choice, fine. Work with it for 2 weeks. Work with it daily. You're going to have so many different opportunities to do that. So 2-week commitment. That's just 2 journal prompts, because I only say just do 1 journal prompt a week. And then post daily. Or what some people would do is they would say, I work with the deck daily, but I don't have time, or I don't want to go on Facebook all the time. So they would do a weekly post and just kind of detail, and they might show their pictures of their little draws that they did or spreads that they worked with. And then they said, okay, this is what I did during the week. to work with my cards daily for 2 weeks, because I feel like that is what helps you to build a relationship with the deck. You know, some people want an easy, breezy tarot study, and I get it, and I understand sometimes that's all I want, but this is not for those folks. This is for those who want to really connect with a deck and do it collaboratively with others. If you can't finish, that's okay. There have been times where I'm the leader and I'm like, ooh, I can't do this. I can't do it today. So I'll say, okay, fine. I'll add that day on the back end. I'm taking a day off and I'll just revisit it when I can. But I'm going to revisit it because I want to finish it, because I want to show you all that I can do it. So that's what I have to share with you all about the tarot study, because, well, I need to share that with you. A lot of people get overwhelmed, and that's not what that's designed for. It does get active during an active tarot study. Right now, it's kind of a lull, and then when we kick it into high gear for the next 6 weeks or so, it can be like, oh my gosh, so much activity going on. And then after the tarot study or oracle study is done, then it kind of lull. It goes into a lull. We pop in and we chit chat with each other about different things. We share what we're up to, and then we pick it up into high gear. And that's just the ebb and flow of the group. So don't get overwhelmed. You heard it from me. Do not get overwhelmed. Yes. Oh, it's your lovely smiling face. Hey, my friend, how are you doing? Hello, Kristen Louise. I know. Thank you for, okay, you have a doctor's appointment. I appreciate you joining me here and now. Thank you. Yes, definitely follow along. You do not need the deck, but follow along and just check out and see what we're up to. We also have a lot of seasoned members who, if I'm not able to answer the question right away, we have members who can. That's why another reason why the work is primarily done in the Facebook group is because our members are knowledgeable. They've done this before, and they can chime in and answer a question when I can't, because I'll be popping in and out, but sometimes I might get tied up on a client call or something like that. It never goes on without a hitch. Sometimes something will always go wrong in the event services. Yes. If you guys make it like seamless, like there could be something that goes wrong, but it might be a hiccup in my eyes, and it may be a big deal to y'all, but y'all the pros. You're the pros. I just finished my part with 5 videos diving into the details of SKT Revelation cards. Ooh, and I'm planning on doing a Q&A at the end of July with the deck creator. Oh, you guys got to check that out. Check out Jonathan's channel. Just check out his channel. He is doing a tarot study, but check out his channel as well, because he does amazing interviews and he has amazing flip throughs and amazing just feel good content. Yes, we sure did. And I made notes too. Thank you. I made notes about different decks that we could recommend that you may already have. Like you have mentioned, you were thinking about maybe the Tarot of Empires. Event planning is exciting. My sister does it, and she worked first for the San Francisco Ballet Company, and then she worked for like the World Ophthalmologist Organization. She doesn't work for them anymore, but she now works for another company now. But she would travel around the world putting on these events for the World Ophthalmologists. And she would tell me, I'm like, not only are you traveling to another country, but you're working like with their event stuff and putting it on. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm always intrigued and it seems exciting, but I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I'm talented enough to do that. Yes. Okay, the only thing I have in the category is Hidden Realms. Oh, that's a good one because it's got that Fae energy. Hold on, I'm writing these down because I want to make a list to put in the community tab of recommendations if you don't have the deck. And tarot up is, never can pronounce that. Sid? Ooh, if you do the Hoodoo Tarot, I will definitely join. Okay? I'll definitely join. As I want to reconnect with it again. I was thinking about redoing, like going through all the posts in the Facebook group and kind of redoing it for myself again, or when someone new joins the group and they want to do it, I was going to do it along with them because I want to reconnect. Another reason why I'm like, I'm only going to do 1 or 2 tarot studies because sometimes I want to revisit the ones that we did. But if you do it, Jonathan, well, I'll just wait till yours. That's what I'll do. I wanted to do the Lyseer study at the time, but wasn't in a good mental space, and that's understandable. So I've earmarked it. Exactly. You can come back to it. That's one of the most important things for me about the tarot studies that we host, that you feel like you can come back to it, you can refer back to it. Some people will get a new deck. Let's say they just got the Hoodoo Tarot and they're like, I'm going to know more about it. Well, now you've got almost 500 posts to dive into for this one deck. We got you covered. Yeah, it's not scary. It's like coming home to me. Samhain makes sense to me because of the color palette. But it is like coming home. It's I don't know, it's special to me. I love that deck. I just do. I guess my tarot, it won't work. It's one of the ones I started working with. Well, is it fully? I don't know. Is it a fully illustrated deck with lots of symbolism? Because it could work. Could work. Yeah, Samhain is about ancestors, not necessarily scary. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like also like the color palette. I'm a good nugget. Let's see. I guess I just got the Tarot Vampires. Surely someone's doing some sort of tarot study on it, right? You would think. It is synchronistic. But we have those moments over here. Oh my God, these people that pay me seem to actually want me to do stuff for the money. Okay, my friend, I understand. Of course, the nerve of them, the nerve to pay you and expect you to be around. Thank you for joining me today. I love that deck too. We'll be stopping by, hanging out with Jonathan. This is our vote, Jonathan, that we want you to do that for the Hoodoo Tarot. We want that very much so. Yeah, the Tarot of the Abyss would be a good one because again, it's fully illustrated. It's got that plant-like energy. I think it could work. I think just something where we can dive into the symbolism in a deck, like the Everyday Enchantment, is what I'm thinking. Thank you. Is it she? Tarot of she? That's what I'm like. Every time I see it, and I've seen it like for years, and I'm like, I always do that. Sid? It's not Sid, it's she. Bye, friend. Thank you for joining. It's not working. There we go. I was going to do it with Kim, but the first copy I got, that's right. You were going through a time with that because it was also during kind of like the pandemic. So it was one of those things where you couldn't, for the life of us, get you the deck because there was like a shortage of printings. And so then the printed one you got was a mess. So that's right. I remember that. I remember that well. I got the Herbcrafters Tarot last month as a surprise gift. Definitely going to go back and do the study. Yes. And see, that's another one I want to revisit. I'm not using it nearly as much as I want to. And this is the season I would. I'm thinking about maybe pairing it with the Everyday Enchantment. It's very much like coming home to me. I love that deck, the Hidden Tarot. It's so easy to read and just fits with me and my culture so well. Me as well. It really just reminds me of of home. Both sides of my family is from Mississippi, generation over generation for hundreds of years. And when I see that deck, it's like coming home. And I love it. I love it. So if somebody's celebrating it and doing a tarot study, I'm here for it. I ruled out the abyss because of the black and white. No, you know what? Yeah, okay. This is a very brightly colored deck. Oh, look at the Wheel of Fortune. It is bright. Okay, no doubt about it. I like this card. But I especially love the Justice card. It's one of my favorite justices because I used to work in arbitration, and I feel like she's the arbitrator or arbiter, depending on who you ask. So it's colorful, but you could use a black and white or sepia colored deck. It doesn't have to be brightly colored. I don't have, it's on my list, my short wish list, the Tarot of the Abyss. I still don't have it. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for when I feel like I would have the time and space to get to know it. And right now, we busy with tarot study. I meant that I was going to do your study. Yeah, I remember that, but I'm game for another deep-dive. Oh, I thought you were going to do it, just all do it. Yes. Okay, so if you do my study, and when, Samhain time, I'll do it with you. I won't be doing any other major tarot studies, and we could revisit together, and it'll be nice because we'll have all these different posts to refer back to and tools that we've already created and all that good stuff. So, I thought you were going to just start from scratch. Yeah, see, this month is a perfect time to use the Herb Crafters. I love that deck. All right, so talked about that. This is a 6 to 8 week tarot study. My friend, Mama, in the chat, she's the one creating the journal prompts. So the journal prompts we'll be doing. So yeah, she made enough that could last us for 8 weeks. I designed it as a 6-week tarot study, but yeah. Don't worry, you guys. I plan to timestamp this video, by the way. Not today, because today's my 10-year anniversary, but later, if not, later tonight, if I'm up at it, I'll timestamp it. So that way this could be a resource for you to go back to if you're doing the tarot study. This is the kickoff. This is the kickoff, so we're chatting it up and connecting and vibing, but it also serves a purpose to inform. I talked about that. I'm going to show you all that in just a moment. Journal prompts, yes. Yes. Oh, we got through a lot, though. Talk about that. A quick reminder, I will be doing lounges, tarot study lounges with the rooms, and I'll just announce, I'll do a quick little post. Hey, I'm in here if you all want to hang out, or if you all want to just go in there together in the Facebook group and you just shoot the breeze in the lounge, have your favorite beverage, your favorite deck, and just chill, you can do that as well. That's what I'm going to use the rooms for in the Facebook group. I'm going to show you guys that in just a moment. Talked about that. It's going to be a lot of posts. Just be ready. Talked about that. 2-week commitment. We'll talk about that. Remember journal prompts. Don't overwhelm yourself. One time a week, or if some people just do them all at once. Whatever is clever, whatever works for you. This is not to overwhelm you all, but this is to help you connect with your deck. Okay. Yeah, we're building community and connection. I want to make sure. Look at all my notes. And look, we almost are done. Great for new and seasoned readers. I shared that with you all. It is tarot studies, whether you're new or seasoned, whether you do the one through Abundant Life Tarot, or like with Jonathan or any of our great community members and leaders, you're going to learn something. So, and if we're offering it for free, you know, you want to take advantage. All I ask is that you like and share. That's your contribution. Great for new. Got that. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. So that the only thing I'm going to do is just share with you all my screen for a moment. Let me see. Ooh, I thought that would be a beautiful combination. We could probably play around with that and see what the pictures look like in the group. That would be beautiful. Zoltan? Is that how you pronounce it? Zoltan Tarot? Oh, let me show you what I use. So this is my tarot study journal. And it's actually, you know, like in school, it's got, what do you call them? Sectioned off. Sectioned off. So for each tarot study, it's like sectioned off. I love these journals. I get them from Amazon. I'm going to do better and maybe just go in town and find some new journals when I use this one up. So this one was for the hoodoo. This section. Yes. So this whole section was my journaling for the Voodoo Tarot. And this was the Antique Anatomy. It's all, you know, divided. Then I have the Light Seers. So, the Light Seers. So I keep them all in, like this is just my tarot study journal book. This is what I use. Thank you for asking too. Some people just type their journal prompts. I think the Antique Anatomy and the Light Seers, I did 50-50, part digital in my Google Docs and part writing it out. So that's why it wasn't as meaty as the Voodoo Tarot. I mean, like I said, but I also was going through a lot during the Voodoo Tarot study, so that also explained why there's so much more to be said in the journal. Week 1 journal prompt is going to go up shortly because this is a short week. That's right. Thank you, my friends. And I'll be combining. I'll be posting it on the blog. I'll show you all that in a moment. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes. I know I should be doing something big. But when you've been married a long, well, it's not just that we've been married for 10 years, but we've also known each other a really long time. And my parents, I think they've been married like 46, 47 years. After a while, we'd be like, we love each other. We'll go have a good meal. And we can love on each other some more afterwards. So we'll go get a good meal. That's the plan. Thank you. You guys are so amazing with your happy anniversary messages. Appreciate that. Some folks did a spread a week, yes, and others just journaled about it. Yep, I did that too. I kind of like alternated. Sometimes I just did a spread with the cards and then kind of wrote down. So the journal prompt was kind of like my prompt for the cards. So I shuffled the deck, right? I'd be like, so the journal prompt is blah, 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 blah. And then I'll have a few cards that jump to it, and I'll journal about what the cards jumped out. That would be the journal prompt. Or sometimes I'll just take the journal prompt and just use it just like a journal prompt. I didn't use the cards. I just wrote up what came up for me. But I normally like to use the cards. That's just me. Nice. Thank you. Yes, and you guys had amazing digital journals. That was, again, so there's Journal Envy, digital Journal Envy. I was like, this is so cool. to have it digitized, I think, and it's beautiful. You can make beautiful creations with that. So people were doing that as well. That worked just fine. You do what works best for you. Oh, you're going to Belize. What are you? That's so fun. Oh my gosh. You're going from one beautiful place to another. Oh my God. That's so cool. You're going to be in a Mayan ruin. How beautiful and sacred is that? Thank you, my friend. Thank you for joining me today. And now I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't come busting up in here. Like, what are we doing? He knows, like, I was like, today's launch day. I know it's also our anniversary, but it's also launch day. So bear with me. Mm. The Zoltan may require a dedicated season of study. I'm going to have to look into that, you all. ATMK. What's ATMK? Do share. Make sure I cover everything. So before I let you go, let me go first to my site. I'll show you the site, and then I'm going to show you the tracking log, and I'm going to show you the Facebook group really fast, and then I'll let you guys go. You guys have been amazing. Thank you. Let me see. From tab. Okay. So here's my website. I just did a blog post today announcing, or it was yesterday, announcing the tarot study, so it's here. But I wanted to show you first this post, but I'm going to show you where we house all this information on the website. So we've got it categorized here, tarot study group. This is it. Where you sign up for the newsletter, my blog post, the Facebook group. Yay. This video today is here. Here we are. Remember, you can use any deck, blah, blah, blah. Here is the tracking log. Here's the category. Let me click on the category for a minute. Remember, the category was at the top, ALT Tarot Study. So category Tarot Study Group, when you click on that, and it's going to take you to all the posts I've made related to tarot study. Yay. There's some journal prompts I mentioned here, all the little journal prompts. We can go on and on, but we won't. I'm back. I'm like, oh my God, where'd it go? I was like, where'd it go? There we go. So you can download this. Some people with their their digital journals, they have printed this out and or not printed it, PDF, I'm not quite sure. But they somehow got it in their digital journals, or they actually printed it out and put it in an actual physical journal. You don't. This isn't a requirement. This is just to help you keep track of the work that you're doing. So here's the 2-week commitment part, weeks 2 and 3, but it's whenever you start, and you can do like this. You can, once you download it, you can select. This is how you can keep track. This is one of the ways that you can keep track your weekly tarot prompt for that week. Pick a spread and share it, or you could just respond to the posts that are in there. There's different ways you can interact daily with your deck for the 2-week commitment. You see the shading here? That indicates that those are 2 weeks of commitment. This is a 6-week tarot study. I will be doing the work for 6 weeks, but many of those who do their 2-week commitment, they're done. They'll just kind of respond to other people's posts. Some people do the full 6 weeks. I do it because people will be starting later, and I just like this inaugural kickoff to be where the people feel supported by the person who is putting it on, which is me. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let me go back. Now we're going to go to Facebook group. It'll go there. Hopefully it does. Let me stop sharing because I'm just going to get out of there. It's angry. Let me just go straight to Facebook. It's struggling. It's struggling. Okay. We're almost done, you all. I just wanted to show you the Facebook group. There we go. It's like struggle internet. Stop it. Well, I'm going to take this as a sign. Just do me a favor. Check out the Facebook group. And if you have questions when you are in there, let me know. I will be time stamping the video today, this one. I'm going to pop in really fast over at the Facebook. It's struggling. So it doesn't like me on Facebook. What is that? Here's the Facebook group. Here's the rooms section up here. Always check out the featured on the community home section. Always check out the featured area because I always keep it updated with the latest and greatest happening in the tarot study or just in the Facebook group in general. That got a new deck. We've got all sorts of loveliness happening. And then, tomorrow is our first majors discussion for the Everyday Enchantment. Bring your favorite deck or the Everyday Enchantment. We'll be starting off with the Fool and doing about 3 to 4 cards per session. It's like a lunchtime majors discussion. So it'll be happening once a week. Okay. So this is the Facebook group. Topics are all over here. Look, I lied. We have 410 Voodoo Tarot Study group posts. But you can see all of them here, all of the group topics. You can just click on what you need to click on. So there you have it, folks. It's Island Life. She says she wants Island Life. Yes. Yeah, Island Life, it's got its perks and challenges. It does. But there you have it, folks. Thank you for your lovely support. Thank you for being a part of the Tarot study. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate hanging out with you all. Thank you for the happy anniversary wishes. I so appreciate them. I'm sure my husband will too. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to head on over now to, as long as my internet allows, I'm going to be in the Tarot Study Lounge in one of the rooms in the Facebook group for about 20 minutes or so before I'm going to go use the bathroom, see when we're going out to eat, and then I'm going to go to the lounge, hang out there and play around in the Facebook group in that area. But yeah, you guys, I am just super duper happy to be doing this with you. Please don't forget to like the video, share about the tarot study, because the more the merrier. We would love to have you. All the happenings are in the Abundant Life Tarot group on Facebook. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for your help. I so appreciate you. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. I guess we'll go get something. Well, first I'm going to do the lounge because, I just want to play in the room for a minute. And then we're going to go get something to eat. Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your days. Peace and blessings to all of you. I love you all. Take very good care of yourselves. And I'm going to see you all in the next one. I'll be back very soon. Well, in the Facebook group, you're going to see me every day. So just get ready. You're going to get tired of Kim. But here on YouTube, I'll be back. I'm just taking a little break to focus on the tarot study, but I will be back very, very soon. Love you all. Bye for now.